Hey everybody, Michael Farnham here. Happy Cyber Sunday. This is Cyber Sunday Monday edition, Valentine's Day edition, day after the Super Bowl edition. That's why I didn't record yesterday. I was kind of chilling out and doing some Super Bowl stuff. And speaking of the Super Bowl, if you are in the cyber world and you did not watch the Super Bowl, or if you did watch the Super Bowl and you're in the cyber world, you may have heard or may have seen the commercial from Coinbase, which was a QR code kind of floating around on the screen, kind of like the DVD logo screensaver that bounces around on your screen. So saw that and was immediately like, oh wow, this is interesting commercial. Didn't know who it was for. They showed it at the end of it. And of course in the cyber world, everybody's like, you don't scan the QR code, all that good stuff. But at the end of it, I kind of thought about it, took 3 lessons, looked up some of the reactions to it and some of the things that happen with the QR code, and thought about it on 3 different levels. So one, should you scan a QR code that you don't know about? Probably not. If it's out in the public sphere or something like that, it's kind of hard not to these days, especially with pandemic. A lot of restaurants and stuff are using QR codes for the menu. You may not even have a menu option in some of these restaurants, so you kind of have to scan a QR code, and there have been some stories of people taking advantage of that. There's been people taking advantage of that for a long time with QR codes, but there's just been a huge resurgence of QR codes with the pandemic. But generally, it's not a good idea unless you have a good sense. You're in a restaurant and you can tell that it's their original one, so on and so forth. Your risk is not that high. And that's kind of my second point. Was the risk of scanning that QR code very high? If you think about it from the perspective of this was a Super Bowl commercial, this lasted for a while, this had to be cleared by the Super Bowl ad committee, which we've heard in the past of many stories that they don't let stuff get through. Whether or not they tested that this QR code was leading where they said it was going to lead, I don't know, but I would imagine that they did in some way, shape, or form. There's probably low risk of scanning that QR code. As much as cybersecurity people want to jump on the wagon of you shouldn't scan anything, I imagine there was pretty low risk of scanning that. So that's kind of lesson 2. And then 3, not even really security related, but more about making sure your infrastructure can handle loads and scale up like that. From what I heard and saw in story was that for a little bit, the Coinbase site and app went down because they couldn't handle the load. So I would like to say there's a lesson learned. There kind of is. You need to make sure you've got the ability to scale up really quickly with stuff. And the Super Bowl commercial is always something that people use as a lesson in that, because we've seen so many times over the years of sites falling down because they've got a Super Bowl commercial. This actually did it. Super Bowl commercial killed their site for a little while. I'd say that there's even extra popularity because it was a QR code and so many people scanned that thing that their site went down. But there's 3 lessons. So basically 3 lessons. Unless you don't know where that QR code is going, you don't have a really good sense of it, you probably shouldn't scan it. 2, I think this falls well within the low risk category of scanning that because it was in a Super Bowl commercial and that was probably pretty much screened. And then 3, make sure you can scale well if you're going to put something like that up on the Super Bowl. So that's it. Happy Cyber Sunday. Happy Valentine's Day. Hope your team won yesterday. Talk to you next time.